Okay, getting ready to install the flywheel. So I got the O-ring that goes around here. I start with a little bit of oil. I believe every rubber seal on these things should get just a touch of oil. Even though some of the books don't they don't really have a specific way to install these rings. They just say install the ring. A lot of the videos I've seen, I don't remember right now if they talk about putting oil on this, but in my mind, this is an essential step to have some oil on these rubber seals for nothing, for no reason at all. So they can so they don't bind up, get pinched, wrinkled, or so they can sit freely in there and do their job as you know as best they can. So that just fits up in there nice and neatly. I make sure it's all the way around in the hole. I clean that up just a little bit. So the books say put a paper gasket in there. I haven't even looked for it, but I've seen some of these paper gaskets, and to me, they seem pretty well useless. It's a piece of paper. It's about as thin as anything. So I'm not going to use paper. That's the long story short. What I am going to use is some black silicone because it makes more sense to me, first of all. And a lot of the videos I've seen, the guys are using black silicone around these holes. So that's going to be the way I'm going here. I'm just going to apply it directly to the crankshaft. Get a little bit NB going around there. Not going crazy with it. I mean, if a paper seal is supposed to seal this, and essentially anything I put on here, I would think would do the same or better. Don't forget these guys. No particular order, I suppose. I mean, just to make myself feel better, I put the thinnest one in the center. I did clean these up pretty well. I hit them with some 400 grit, kind of polished them out. The 400 grit I used was real worn out, so it's probably up to 800 or 1,000 at this point. But I'm going to pre-lube these guys. A little bit of oil and around there. That I'm sure wouldn't hurt. And it's crazy too because, I don't know, unless I glossed over it, I didn't see in any of the books about lubing these guys up. So, I don't know. To me, this is just common sense. So we'll get those guys in the hole. And then, most cars, this would be a rear main seal, but I guess on this Volkswagen engine comes a front main seal. Again, a little bit of lubricant. Help get it in there for one, and help it seal around the flywheel once it's in there too. Everybody has their own method. There's tools for this, and they're probably the best way to go, but I mean, everybody has their own method. And I guess they all accomplish the same thing. Sure, this is getting on there. So I've got it started in the hole. What I'm gonna do, I got a nice square flat block of wood. It's probably too big for this, but I guess I can use the end of it. So I'm just gonna kind of ease it in there, nice and even all the way around. You can feel that. You can even hear the block of wood up against the case. After I get it to that point, even all the way around. I'm not hammering it home by any means. I'm just giving it some love taps. Is this the best method? Hell, who knows? I don't know. And then I'm gonna make sure it gets below the surface here. So it's not rubbing up against the flywheel. What I'm seeing here is a little bit of a raised lip on the outside of this ring. Just below that is a flatter surface. And by my thinking, this seal should be flush with the flatter surface below. So let me find a better tool for that. Good old 14 millimeter and get her done. Like I said, there's probably, in fact, I know there's an installer tool for this. It's probably the best route to take, but I don't have one. And being somewhat of a backyard mechanic, this is the route I'm gonna take. Come hell or high water, I guess. I'm just taking my time with it. Nice and flush on that raised surface underneath there. Probably impossible to see, but I can see it. I pull the camera in tighter. Second here. If this is the wrong way, then I'm sure somebody will tell me. Just working it around. So it's in there. Appears to be just below the surface all the way around. A little bit in this corner, that's slightly different. There it goes. That feels good now. Have to go deeper than that. So it's below the surface all the way around. I know there's probably people out there right now just cringing at what I'm doing here. Anyway, it goes all the way. Let's just put on there. Alright, that looks good. I gotta live with it at some point. So the sealant, or the silicone is on there. Do the flywheel, squirt, work it around. These 4 holes seem to be offset. They're not symmetrical all the way around. At least that's what it appears. Just want the oil to help to lube it to get it in there. Don't want it all over everything. Line it up. I guess I should have made a mark. It helped. That's it. Get that seated down. Anyhow. And when I was looking in the books as well, there was nothing that said anything about Loctite on this at all. I can say this for sure. Taking this off, I think I destroyed the old one when I took it off. With that said, I hope I don't regret this later, but I'm going to put some blue Loctite on it as I figure out where the hell it is. So here's some irony for you. Blue thread locker in a red bottle. Or Loctite. Just a drop. I mean, at like 220 pounds. You'd think it wouldn't need any of this, but and then it probably doesn't. Grand scheme of things. I don't know if you can see in the video, but I left some plastic in the center there just to keep the needle bearings from getting any dirt on them. Give the initial torque with this. One of the things I did invest in was one of these flywheel locks. Just seemed, if you'd have seen me taking this apart, it was a nightmare. I tried what the book told me. I bent the bar. I bent the shit out of the bar. So that did me absolutely no good. So I went ahead and bought one of the torque tools, torque multiplier, and I haven't taken it out at all. So let me pause this and come back. I got this together. Okay, it was actually quite simple to set up. It says right here, 25 foot-pounds equals 225 pounds. This needs to go to 220. So I guess as long as it's close, it should be good to go. I already got the lock set up in there. Let me just get this back on there. And this on one time. Figure out what direction it's going to go here. Alright, so that's on. This happens to be 11 millimeter. Set it up in here. Get this guy to 25. See it. Glare on this thing. Get it to the right side. 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it needs to be 220. I can do all the math. 25 equals 220. I'm not going to figure that out right now. Anyhow, that on there. You know what? I think this has to be spun the other way. Oh, shit. Let's drop it. No, I don't. Just seemed like it would fit on there better the other way, but I guess that's as good as it gets. So let's do this. That's it, huh? Was already there with the torque wrench. Holy shit, what's going on? It doesn't seem to fit on mine as well as I've seen it fit in other videos. That gear is like right to the very end. Every time it pushes. Now let's see. You know what? This all makes sense now. There's a little cotter pin and a washer that comes with this thing. That might be helpful. Try this again. So it's already there, which means the impact wrench really torqued it on there. Which means, holy shit, what's going on? See, I didn't think that impact wrench had that much power. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Spun it right off. Try it again. This time without the impact. See what the difference is. I'm telling you, this was not taking it off. I didn't think that little impact was that strong. Make sure this is at 25 or 24 anyhow. This exercise. I don't like the way it moves like that. See, something just isn't right. Let me try the other. That's a smaller diameter. Has anybody ever seen this kind of situation? What have I run into? Because this thing does not want to do what it's supposed to. And that's already 25. Barely. Yeah, something ain't right. Something is not right, Gus. I don't know. What do you guys think? Something is not right at all. The best I can do at this point. Wow. All right. Does this thing even go up to 225? I don't know. The highest I can get out of this is 80. Let me see. Then there's this guy. It's been around the block a time or two. And if I can still read it, it does go up. It does have foot-pounds on it. And it's up to me to read the damn thing, though. Let's see. Foot-pounds is the last line. Just trying to see how high it goes. In a perfect world, this plate has been folded over so long that the numbers didn't rub out under it, right? Watch me rub them out trying to get it off. Or cut myself. Everything started out good, didn't it? I can read it on this side, and up to there is 100. That says 125. And I'm guessing, let's see, if that's 100 from there to there. Let's do an unscientific thing here. Yeah, from there. To there is 100. So 200 goes to the very end. And then 220, I think, would be, well, let's see. See this thing. Why I didn't like it. Well, let's see. That's... oh, what a crap thing. Actually, 100 is right there. It's on the bottom of the scale. I was reading the wrong scale. There's 3 different markings on here. See, this isn't going to work for me. That's 100 right there. 200 is way out in the stratosphere. So this is not going to work. So no go on that. Unfortunately, spent a lot of money on this damn tool. Unless I'm doing something wrong, this thing is a piece of crap. It doesn't work. Quote a famous actor. I'll try one last time. Like I said, unless I'm doing something drastically wrong, which I cannot for the life of me. See a better way to install this tool. Let me try the other gear just for kicks and grunts here. Could be operator error, but let's find out. I don't think so. Ah, maybe so, maybe so. Ah, there it is. Well, beautiful thing. Huh. It's a struggle to get there. We're at 20. I'm at 24 by this. I mean, for the sake of an argument, let's see what 1 extra foot-pound does. Much more of a spin. Nah. Not even. So apparently that's all she wrote. Let's try another scientific thing here. Well, shit. So either this ain't getting as tight as it says it is, or that little impact is a lot stronger than I gave it credit for. Well, let's get her back down again. Is there any benefit to putting these on and torquing them down again? Well, that's a hell of a thing. A little trial and error, but I was able to make it work. But anyhow, that's the flywheel install. Sorry I had to struggle like I did, but it's, when you don't do this stuff all the time, or you've never done it before, it's the kind of stuff you get. So don't forget, like, share, subscribe. I hope this was entertainment, if nothing else. One other thing before I go, I don't want to forget to remove this. Kept it in there. Can't go that far in, can it? Kept that in there to keep debris out. I didn't want to forget about it, so I just wanted to get that out of there. One of the books also says to lube that up with some grease. I don't suppose it matters if I do it now or just prior to putting it on. Maybe I'll do it now just so I don't forget. So that's the end of the video. So I've been doing a few things since the last video, the last video you were just watching. And one of them was waiting on this washer to, it's a lockdown washer that goes under that gland nut. So I didn't want to, I don't know if anybody caught that, but I didn't put it on throughout the whole video. So I wanted to make sure I got it in the video to make sure that nobody panicked and said that I had forgotten the washer. You can see I've mastered this tool since. I'll tell you, that was a struggle. Did I mention that the videos are called Rookie Rebuild for a reason, so I'm not kidding when I say that. Not completely ignorant when it comes to engines, but these are a different kind of animal, I guess you'd say. So let's see, in the video I was going up to 25 on this. We're at 20 now. 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of messing around also with the heat shield that goes, the deflector plate for the bottom. I'm trying to mess around with some brackets on here. I'll get to that part later, but for now I just wanted to make sure I got in the video the putting the washer on, in case somebody is watching it that actually needs to know how to do this properly. I don't know if I'm the best person to watch, but I'm showing you all the steps for sure. And again, I'm struggling with this thing. It was just working. Let's try it from this side. More space at the bottom. Well, I guess with the washer, now it's the washer sort of has a concave contour to it, and that's what makes it a lock washer, I suppose, which is probably why you don't need the Loctite to begin with. And you can see how easy I took it off, even with the Loctite. So this tool really does make it easier once you figure out how to work it. Dang, there is a lot to crush down on that washer. Which explains a lot when it comes to the first 30 minutes or so of this video. Try to speed this along so you don't have to suffer through all the ratcheting. There it is. A little bit more than. So that's it. Now everything's on. The washer's in place. This is covered up to keep the dust from going in there. Still have have to get a clutch and pressure plate to go on there. I've been working on the geometry. And see, I got that tool in there. I've got some 1.25 to 1 rockers coming. They should be here soon. So those will be going in under there. And I got the cut to fit push rods ready to square all that away. But that video will be coming up. I was struggling with the stock rockers, trying to figure out the geometry. Then let's see, FM Mike Garage commented on one of my videos and said I should have put like a milder upgrade for the camshaft. I think he said a 100 or a 110 grind. And you know, so far into this right now, I'm gonna, you know, kind of go to the halfway point with it and put the higher ratio rockers in there and just leave it at that for now. I mean, if I can, you know, as long as nothing goes completely haywire, I'm sure it'll do fine. It's going in a rail buggy, which they're not very heavy, so I don't think power is going to be too much of a problem. I mean, this thing was completely stock on there before, and it had some get up and go, you know, because of the light frame that it was on. So we'll see. You know, I'll definitely be reporting how well things go when I do get those rockers in there, and you know, hopefully I you know, got a happy medium out of it, if nothing else. So I'll see you in the next video. That's it for now.